Glendon. Just to emphasize a few things. There's a storage auction contest. There's no charge to enter. All you have to do is submit a video of yourself saying why you want to be in the business or whatever. That's that simple. It's right here. Just go ahead, hit that link, do your video, and get in the game. It ends November 15th. Also, some other changes are happening. I have copies of my book. There are many people who want the signed edition. If you're in the group, you get a discount. If you're in my Storage Auction Mastermind group, you get a discount. If you're not in the group, you don't get a discount. That link is also there. Made a lot of little changes, but they're for the better. So you need to get on that. You really do, because I love watching y'all's videos and in this contest. I swear I do. It cracks me up, and it also does me a world of good that people are actually taking the time to enter and do this stuff, which I think is hella cool. Really, I do. The title of this segment, Not in My Yard. Quick story for y'all. When I was growing up, grew up in Alabama, and right there, kicked ass yesterday. Roll Tide, baby. There was a certain level of pride that was instilled in me by my mother and other members, my mother, my grandmother, and other members of the community. And you don't take any stuff from anybody that steps up into your yard and is misbehaving. You just don't put up with it. There was this kid. He was a random kid. Never saw him before, never seen him since. Came up in the yard and he was talking smack, and my mother was home and we didn't have air conditioning, and she had the windows up, and she could hear what was going on through the screen, and the guy was talking smack to me. And my mother called me over to the window and she said, if you don't knock him out or tell him to get on, because this does not happen in your yard. This is your home. It ain't much, but it's all you got, and you need to represent it and protect it and stand up for yourself. So I went out there because I was more afraid of her than him. And I was like, dude, you need to get. And he was just like, yeah. So we had like 2 acres. So I just picked up a tree branch and was like, and he's like, whoa. Next thing you know, he was gone. And I want to break down some stuff for y'all, because folks don't understand. Business is a dirty game at times. There are people who will get away with whatever they can get away, and it's just an opportunity cost whether they sued or not. That's it. That's how they think. And I want to say thanks to all the people who responded to my, the proof of the ripoffs, because everybody, whether they agree with what I did or disagree with what I did, said, you know what, something's janky. Everyone. Not one person was going, well, no. It's like, you were ripped off, revamped. Everyone's like, sums up. There was no dispute about that. I don't like suing people. I don't want to do it. But you know what? I have to do it. Now let's talk about the video, because this is a business lesson for you. Understand, people are going, hey, get your attorney, keep it under wraps. Understand, I have been despondent, I've been pissed off, and honestly, if I gathered that information and if I was close to the people responsible for that information, I would probably be in jail right now, because I would have fucked them up. Seriously. But I'm in a calmer, more rational, reasonable place. But day 1, day 2, I would have got a charge for battery, because I would have beat the fuck out of it. Honest to God, that's how I felt. Now, as I step back and I've evaluated and I've gathered information, and understand, I'm not sorry I did that video. That's part of the plan, because as irrational, as pissed off as I was, the logical business style was still clicking. Let me explain to you why I did it. I was ripped off. Whether I win in court or not, that remains to be seen. Who knows? But what the offenders, the alleged offenders, let's speak in the legal terms, the alleged perpetrators don't know is I have new training programs, new information that's not on YouTube, not on the blog, and not in the book. Understand that. This is new stuff that's coming up. And if I don't throw the gauntlet down now and draw a line in the sand that says this shit stops right here, guess what's going to happen? Oh, he ain't doing nothing the first time we did it. They're going to steal that too. Excuse me, they're going to allegedly make off with that too. The same shit's going to happen. So by putting this big ass spotlight on the situation and letting everybody know that it's going on, there's no way in hell they would try to steal this shit. May want to, but there's no way. Because see, it's one thing when you do something and you're not on probation. But when you're on probation, then you do something that's just simple, you can end up in jail because you're on probation. So essentially, I've served notice and put these mofos on probation. There's no way they're going to steal any other stuff or even try. And that within itself is worth the hell that I got to go through in the coming weeks. Fine, because you're not stealing this shit. Not in my yard. It ain't happening. It's done. Now to you, I want to say thanks to all of the people who support me. I really appreciate it. And see, this is when you find out what you got going on. This is what let's call this an adverse period or a period of adjustment. Because I didn't put out all of my storage unit auction knowledge. Thank God I didn't. So there's a lot more to come, and there's other ways to help you be successful. But know this, I have got to protect myself. And for all you people who've got my stuff on your websites, I haven't got it to you, but sooner or later I will. So this is your amnesty period. Take my shit down. You know, it's haha, very, very funny, haha. Okay, it's funny now. Because once this thing gets rolling, if you want to be part of the thing, fine. Now, to address some comments, as for me coming across threatening to the YouTube community. Since 2009, I've been telling motherfuckers, fuck you. How much more threatening can you get? I have been calling people out saying, you know what? You are just a sorry, pathetic excuse of breath. I've been doing that. I mean, if you're a long-time subscriber, you know how we get down here. And I'm telling you, I was advised not to do it. There were people's like, hey, ease up on the profanity, stop it. And I was like, you know what? It's me. Whether you like it or not, it's me. It's the authentic me. It's who I am. And I love it. I love myself. And many of you like me, and I appreciate it. Because it is an awful thing to try to be something that you're not. One of the hardest things in life to do is to have the courage to be who you are. And it took me a long time to get here. And I'm not relinquishing it. So that's the deal. This channel is for winners. Hey, if you can't take the truth, unsubscribe, move on, just go. That's what it's going to be. Because since 2009, I've been the only one in a very strong manner, and many people say, hey, don't tell them it's that hard. Don't tell them it's hard. So use the E word, which is easy. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that to anybody. I am not going to do that to me. And there are people who's like, man, you said it was hard. And I guess it's like, man, I didn't know. It was actually worse than what you said. And you said it was really hard. Because it's unfair to do that to a person. There's a lot of crazy stuff in these units. A lot of crazy stuff. And you're going to sucker somebody into going out and getting into that situation and not giving them the tools to be successful. I mean, I have literally had like a pontoon boat fall on my head. I didn't know it was up there. There was some boxes. I moved one box. Boom, this sucker's coming. And I just barely caught that sucker. There's a lot of things that can happen. There's a lot of bad things that can happen to a person in a storage unit. And I'm not going to be responsible for saying, oh, it's easy. It's not easy. So that's the deal. Like I said, I didn't threaten anybody on the YouTube community. I threatened the punks who are ripping me off. So if you feel threatened, what are you doing? Because I didn't say anything about coming after you. All right. And since I'm in a better place because, I thought about some things, this is another testimony that I have the best storage auction book in the world. That's a very arrogant statement, and I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it with energy and enthusiasm. I have the best storage auction book in the world. And furthermore, not only is it good for storage auctions, many people have told me time and time again that it's great for business in general. It's like, I watch this channel just for the business tips. I am never going to buy a storage unit auction. I'm never going out there. I may watch it on television, but I like the fact that you give it to me straight and the information is great. That's a testament. Let's talk about common themes, because that was something else that was brought up. Well, these are common themes from common situations. No, it's not. For many years, I toyed with newcomers because they all came out ill prepared. They didn't have a lot. I'm not going to get into that stuff. I'm just going to say, from years of experience of watching newbies come out, not knowing what they're doing, that all this so-called common now, it's not common. In July of 2009, when I started researching, there was maybe one page on Google about storage auctions with 75% of that information coming out of California. 75% was coming out of California. I mean, it wasn't that many sources. There was only a few books. I didn't write the first book. I didn't write the second. I think there was when I wrote my book, I think there was 4 at that time in 2009. 4. There were not these storage auction websites. They didn't exist. Now, one of the reasons, and I'm going to address this in the forum because they really want me to join, because there's something I need to tell somebody in that forum. It's like, this information is common. You just do a quick Google search and you can find what he's talking about. Well, the truth of the matter is, you can, and the reason you can is because they stole my shit. Do you know how that makes me feel? That someone's going to tell me, oh, your information ain't worth that because I found it somewhere else. That's seriously irking me. And let's talk about my method. I have a philosophy that is throughout my books. It's through all of them. There's a certain philosophy. And back to commonality. This week, I'm going to buy every storage auction book online that's out there. Because see, if all these common themes are so common, they're going to be in every book. And just based on, going on Amazon and going through the flip through, they're not. There's several major things missing out of a few books. They're not there. So if they're that common, why aren't they there? So if I line up however many books there are, 7, 8, and I find out that a lot of these so-called common themes are in none of them, but they're in my book and they're on that site. What does that say? What does that say? Wake up, people. And also, back with not in my yard. I am not the person that's going to bend over backwards and spread my cheeks and say, give it to me, baby. I'm not that dude. I'm not. I will fight. Just like I tell you not to be a scared little bitch. What would I look like in this situation if I started acting like, well, we're going to sit down and we're going to really evaluate it and we're going to see what... No, this shit's foul. I know it's foul. You've seen the evidence and you know it's foul. I have no choice but to come out like this. None. So understand, when I tell you that stuff, this is how I live. This is my philosophy. I'll tell a little story to you. Oh, God. When I date a woman, I am unflinchingly honest. I have told a woman who became my girlfriend, a lot of women about to get pissed, I just like fucking you. We're at a point where it didn't really turn anything, but I liked her. And she asked me, what did I think about her? And I told her the truth. Did it go over well? No, it did not go over well. Actually, she was very upset. And she disappeared for a few weeks. And I was like, you charged it to the game. You asked me a straight question. I gave you a straight answer. And after a few weeks, I get a call and she's like, hey, let's talk. I was like, what do you want to talk about? You just told me I was the worst thing since the devil himself. And she's like, no one's ever talked to me like that, and I look back and we had fun. And it hit me that you don't lie to me. I was like, I don't have no reason to lie to you. When you look this good, I got options, baby. I got options. I'm not going to lie to you. Why? And she didn't like that. She's like, well, look. She's like, essentially, we got back together again and entered into a relationship. based on the fact that she could trust me. I'm telling you, my friends think I'm nuts. It's like, you did not say that to that chick. I'm like, oh yeah, I did. Because at the end of the day, it cuts through a lot of this. The clutter, the chatter, the bullshit, and also do what I call dishonest dating. I don't take you out and hang out with you in the hopes to get some pussy. I don't do that. If I don't like you and there's not a strong attraction, we're not going out. If we're hanging out on a friendship type deal, you're paying for your own whatever we have. For real. And essentially, even if I like you, we're going to hang out 4 to 6 times before I drop a dime on you just to see if you like me. I learned this from having a business because women respond totally different to you when you have a little loot or you look successful. But when you just like, hey, you got your little Alabama hat on, you got your little t-shirt on, and you're driving a 94 Beamer, and like, okay, he's just a guy. I like that because I get a more honest response, which is great for me. So understand, this is who I am. This is who I am. So all you folks who think I'm just talking shit, please continue to think like that, because we have a term for that in Alabama. Some people don't believe fat meat is greasy until the juice is on their hands. All right, this is Glendon. We're making money with storage unit auctions.